Hello, Yeti Nation.
Hello, Yeti
Hello, Yeti
Nation.
Nation.
Greg Beecher, how you doing there, sir?
Any better, I'd be you. I mean, I just watched that Arrows game and that Allegheny Arrows game. 1.1 seconds left, and Cloutier wins the game for him. It was absolutely wild. Chase Martin was playing out of his mind, threw up with 30 seconds left in the game. They had to bring in Goa Abrams. They come down, take a timeout on the power play. Or, no, they didn't pull the goalie, but they scored. So it's tied up. Like 20 seconds left, something stupid. Cloutier from the Bandits just goes down and just freaking rips it. Yeah, goal. Oh my goodness. 1.1. I was going nuts. Bella's like, is everything okay? Because she just hears me screaming. But sorry about that. We have Madison Davis with us. So I actually got to meet you in the Nexus Center. You got to play box lacrosse, but this is a fairly new thing for you, right?
Yeah.
So you started playing lacrosse. We talked a little bit about it, but go ahead and tell me again. You met this crazy guy that we all love, Paul Noecker, when you were about how old and when you started playing?
I think I was around
Oh,
like 2 and 3. I started playing with Necker.
thanks, Greg. You're throwing. Thanks, guys. Hey, you want to know what? It was called Kindercross.
Yeah.
And as far as the Davis family is a huge member of the Tri-City community and the Yeti Nation, Yeti blood strong. And Madison Davis has been playing with us. She's a local kid. Played ball in the Whitesboro School District and took her talents to the collegiate level, and tore it up at the I won't go I ain't saying where and everything like that.
We're
And
going to
tore it up,
hang on. We're going to get
tore
into
it up.
you're
Yeah,
skipping way too much, Paul. You have
too
skipped
much.
way over everything. The whole show's
Whoa.
over now. Everybody have a good night. We just
Well,
covered
because
it
I'm
all.
old and
But
it's a long road,
so
brother.
you played so that was all field lacrosse. You've always played women's field lacrosse though, right? With a female stick with that no pocket. So like when I use my daughters, I launch it 100 miles up in the air. I've got no control until I started using armor mesh. I will plug him because that guy's amazing. He dialed it in a pocket for me. But for you, you grew up playing with that shallow pocket. Just at in your age, you've probably seen, I mean, the stick pockets have gone crazy just since you were a kid, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, my first stick was like flat as a board. There was no pocket in it. The head was completely flat. There wasn't like a curve to it. So I've
You had a
definitely.
tennis racket out there you're trying
Oh,
to catch a lacrosse ball with.
oh yeah, for sure.
That's amazing. Yeah, now they've got it. So this was my very first year with actually watching women's lacrosse. My daughter played, so trying to understand the rules. I started getting it. I kind of don't understand a lot of it. I know the refs like to draw a cage over their head. I think they're like, nope, this was ugly. I don't want to see it. I'm not sure what that actually means. Maybe you could explain that to me?
So you can't cradle in your sphere because if you get a check, you can get hit in the head. But if you also check in the sphere, like it's the defenseman's fault. So it's all to just keep you safe, but I think it's a little bit of a ridiculous rule at the same time. I think everyone should just wear helmets and just be able to throw checks wherever.
Well, that's what confused me more than anything because I mean, I have a daughter that's playing, and if I had a son that was playing, she has the goggles, but I'm like, why don't you wear helmets? I just don't understand it. I mean, I know some of the girls do, but most of them don't because they're like, well, nobody else does, and it's like that ball. It's the same ball, right? I mean, it's gonna
Yeah.
hurt when it hits you in the head if it's coming from somebody. Yeah, but
Yeah.
you girls are just crazy. You don't wear gloves either, which I tried to buy her gloves. She won't wear them. I can't wrap my head around that because even though you're not supposed to connect, I mean, you know what it's like out there. You're bashing your fingers up. Your knuckles after the end of the season must be absolutely like destroyed.
Oh yeah, my knuckles are like double the size after some games because they get cut in half right on the stick. But in high school, we actually our whole team wore helmets for I think my senior year. We all had helmets, but they were like plastic. So even when you got hit in the head, it still hurt. So it didn't really do anything either.
Even with a guy's helmet, let me tell you, it does not feel good to take one in the head. I mean, the goalie helmet's got a little bit better shape to them, and I'm sure that I have seen the women's helmets. They've come a little farther now, but I still just don't understand why they don't just have a full-faced helmet. I also wish you guys would just play with the same rules so idiots like me could jump right in and understand it. But Paul always told me it was closer to the to box, and I was like, Paul, that makes no sense to me. I know you're not always, the best at explaining things, but I don't get it. And then after watching it, I was like, oh, the sticks match. It's not a cross check, but the girls, that's how you guys like bump into each other, is like that, and you're in that position. Oh wait, we got to answer Josh real quick though with the three cities for Tri City. Paul, tell us what they are.
It is Utica, Rome, and it was Oneida, the city of Oneida.
This
Those
a
are the three
40-year-old,
cities.
yeah, an over a 40-year-old program. So a couple
Going on
years
45
before,
years.
couple years
45
before
years.
Madison was playing.
Yes, it's her father is he's starting to become one of those old dogs as well. But the family tree is deep rooted. That's
Yeah,
a
that
beautiful thing.
heavy in the Tri-City organization. You're not there very long.
Absolutely.
I was just laughing at Josh's comment about Wagner because I agree 100%. And he still jumps around, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" And just takes that ball in the head, and I'm like, "Ah." So, anyways, so you got to play in high school. Unfortunately, COVID ruined your chances of being able to play at Onondaga, which was a legendary. I mean, it still is a legendary school. I'm sure the women's lacrosse is just as storied as the men's is probably. But now you've been at Oswego. What is that like going from high school to not being able to play and then back up to like that level of competition? That's got to be a crazy thing that like most of us, like I never had to go through anything like that.
It was definitely a crazy jump because I went from being a two sport athlete to practicing every day, sometime having two practices a day, to then COVID hitting. So I'm not moving for like 2 years. And then I came to Oswego and we immediately got into fall ball. So like the conditioning's way more than it was in high school. Like the way we did stick skills was way more in depth. We were constantly just like running. We were having like really hard practices, which like I wasn't used to because in high school it didn't seem like that. But I was also like younger and more agile to do stuff like that.
Well,
But
when you do it all the time, you get desensitized to certain things like the contact on your hands, the contact on your body, just the pounding of your joints. And then when you take a little bit of time off, trust me, it doesn't get any easier. Stop taking time off because as soon as you do, it doesn't ever want to fire back up it played. But yeah, so we got Tony in the comments if anybody wants to read that. I am going to just I'm pulling a new policy of gag order for me just means I'm not going to mention anything. So I'll just keep my mouth shut on several things, but I love the fact that you got to play for Paul growing up, and then so we will say that your very first chance. How did you ever figure out box lacrosse? I thought it was amazing. I asked you a couple questions. You were like, I really didn't know anything about box until I'll let you tell the story because I really liked it.
yeah, so last year I think Necker just texted me. It was like, hey, like we're playing in this Lax Night tournament. Do you want to come and play? And I was like, yeah, of course. And so I've never seen a box game. I've never played in one. I've never done anything to do with box. And I text him like, I have no equipment. I have no stick. I have nothing. And he's like, it's all right. We'll take care of you. I used a bunch of my uncle's stuff. I showed up, and I think Jimmy Fay was our coach, and I was telling him because I've grown up with him too, like because my dad, and I'm like, I have no idea what the rules are. I don't know where to play, how to run on, how to run off. I'm like, I don't know anything. He's like, just go out there, you'll figure it out. And then that's just what I did for that tournament.
That's amazing. So, I mean, you get out there, you're putting on all these extra pads for the first time. You go out there for warm-ups. How long did it take you to get used to the pads? I mean, by warm-ups, were you fairly comfortable, or was it still like, what is going on? Like, and just seeing, I mean, you had some experience at least with the cage. You ever play hockey?
No,
Oh, so you had like no clue what it was like wearing a full face hockey. Yeah. So, I mean,
yeah.
how did that feel?
Well, it took me like 10 minutes to get my jersey actually on over everything because it just kept getting stuck. But then when I got out there, the pads felt fine, but the helmet was messing me up because it was like too big. So it just kept flopping all around, like on my head. And then when I got hit the first time, I literally was like, whoa, what? You can do that? What is going on? My helmet's like all messed up. But yeah, it took me a minute to adjust. But after that, I was fine.
So last year was the you didn't get to see the women's play-in game the year before they did at Laxney, but I tell you there was some of the biggest hits in the tournament were in that women's game. Some of these girls, it was a chance to be able to actually do it. They were just you could tell going like nuts. They were going ham on it. They were like, I love this. I want to just nail anybody that, anybody gets in my way, I'm cross-checking them. So, how well did you handle, you get out there, you finally start to get used to the equipment. After the first game, how did that feel like afterwards? Your first like full contact game like that. I mean, the recovery process got to be interesting, and at Lax now you don't really get a lot of recovery time.
Yeah, I was definitely tired. I wasn't sore yet, but I'm like a physical like lacrosse player, so it's not like out of the ordinary for someone to bump me like that. Like I had a couple good hits after, I got the nerves knocked off and everything, but I was definitely feeling it like the next morning. We had to play the next morning. I'm like, I cannot move my body. I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Then you get out there and it's amazing. Everything starts moving, and the first time again you get hit, and then your body just fires back up, and you're like, all right, let's go.
Madison, I'm going to jump here for a second. What is the better of the two evils in regards to having the equipment on? I've watched you play in regards to in the field game, having pads on, playing the way you do, or having no pads on, absorbing them cross checks. Because all honesty, when you're playing the attack position on the field, and I've watched you play, you're dropping the shoulder. Here I come through. And now, as far as being able to utilize the movement without the
embrace
pads
it,
to the pads, to the pads. What are you enjoying one more than the other in regards to when you're able to drive, being able to, like you said, drive somebody in if you run them over, you run them over, where in field lacrosse, that's a charge. It's going the other way. Now, in regards to, give me your ideas. What do you like most about one or the other?
I definitely like how box lacrosse is way more physical. I think it allows like us girls to play to like our full potential. But I do like playing without the pads. I think it's just because I've been so used to like my arms getting beat up that like it really doesn't hurt anymore, but they still bruise pretty bad. But I like how I can like move easier, and I really do hate the gloves. Like I'd rather just not have gloves in box lacrosse because I like to be able to feel like the shaft of the stick. But I mean, if we were gonna hit like the way we do in box, I'd definitely rather be padded up than just bare like that.
Just
Now,
takes a little time to get used to the pads, but I tell you, it's like anything else. The more you do it, it's literally everything in life is muscle memory. If I can remember when you first get skates in hockey, you'd literally just walk around the house in them for like a day, just so that way all of a sudden they felt comfortable. How hard was the getting used to the pocket? That's what always I drives me nuts, because I would not be able to switch back and forth like I can when I'm just playing catch, but to actually be trying to put some mustard on a shot or trying to like thread the needle through somewhere, how hard is it for you, or was it to kind of dial in a boy's pocket in a men's stick style?
Well, at first I couldn't throw it all or shoot it all, and I was really frustrated. And then I was actually playing catch with my dad the day before we had a game the other day. And he was like, you have to whip it if it's going to have a lip like that. You have to put some heat on it. And so then once I started doing that, then my passes got easier and better.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's weird, like just learning it, and then when you have to pick up the women's stick again. Now, do you enjoy being able to play with the men's stick? Do you find you have more control, or are you still, is it like the women's game and the gloves? You're just like, you know what, it's what I'm used to, and that's kind of where I'm going.
I think if I keep sticking with box, I would like the control I have with the men's stick. But right now, I have like really good handles on my girl's stick. Like I can do a lot more creative stuff with it. But I mean, that's all with just time. Like I'll get better stick skills with box as long as I keep going to practice and working on my skills.
Well, and especially probably, I mean, you're getting ready to go into your final year of college. You're probably pretty focused on keeping that women's stick honed in. So you play, what position is it you play in field?
Attack.
And how was that in box? Did you take your first few shifts on defense transition to watch things, or did you jump right out that O door and said, "Let's go"?
Oh, I jumped right out. Jimmy Faye was like, just go. And I was like, go where? And he's like, that way, go. Yeah.
You'll figure out the rest. Just go that way. There's the ball. I mean, the rest of it makes sense. Don't touch the ball with your hand, and now you can kind of hit people a little harder.
Well,
Yeah.
and
He
the nice
literally was like,
feature.
there's no rules. He was
Yeah,
like, "There's no rules, just get out there."
just get out there, protect yourself,
It's like a boxer, protect yourself at all times,
protect
boys.
yourself.
Get in there.
Keep
I
that shield up. That's the biggest thing. Keep
the
that stick up
yeah.
and down.
No, it's definitely a very physical sport. So growing up playing in Tri-City, how well did that your high school, like, were you fairly competitive in Whitesboro? Did you guys have a team that was, did you guys make it into regionals? How well did your high school pan out?
I was on varsity as a freshman, so my younger seasons on Whitesboro, I think we went farther in sectionals. But as like I was a senior, I think we made it past like the first round and then we got knocked out. But we had like a young team my senior year, so it was just basically experience versus not as much experience.
Yeah, that happens a lot. It's just kind of the way the birth years roll and everything, and it kind of does make you. So when you're in that off year, you kind of have to learn to play a little. You get a different style. You don't have everybody playing with you. So growing up and getting to do that, taking the 2 years off, we go there now. Lax night. What are you going to college for though? Is it sports oriented, or are you completely like in the opposite direction here?
So I just graduated my bachelor's in human development with a minor in coaching. So I'll have my coaching degree and then I'm getting my master's right now in guidance counseling.
And Josh says, do you think that you have found, so you got to play Laxni and then you got to play a college season. Did you notice an improvement in your field game after playing box?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Now, is it just the reaction time you think? Because I mean, the stick doesn't translate, the pads don't translate. So do you think it is just that interaction? I've had somebody explain it once, the rebounds in front of the net and just like the craziness that takes place out there. Do you think that's a part of it?
Yeah, I think it box helps a lot with like moving quick to reactions to stuff. Like if a ground ball, a shot, a missed pass or something, like I definitely think I am like thinking before like something actually happens a lot better. And then I
So
think
like
I just
lacrosse IQ improvement and reaction time almost more than a physical improvement, as you felt like it kind of made you a little bit more. It kind of don't. I don't know what the word would be, and like honed your mind in a little bit.
yeah, I think I got like a lot more smarter as a lacrosse player playing box because you kind of have to think before you do anything. If you just go and get a ground ball, like you're going to get smacked against the boards. Where in field lacrosse, you can jog out there and the defender's not going to go out there and chase you. So,
That's why I think we have such a hard time taking our young adults and more so like if you're a 16-year-old young woman and you had gotten introduced to box then, how do you think you would have handled it if you went from being a fairly, above average field player to a terrible box player? Do you think you would have been one of those people humble enough to take it, or would you have been like 90% of us Americans who just were like, yeah, you know what, maybe the box game isn't for me, I'm going to stick to the field?
um, I don't know. I think my lacrosse career like really improved when I was like turned 16. Like I was really going up. So I think if I started playing box when I was younger, I would have had like this confidence and cockiness and been like, oh, like I can do both. And it would have toughened me up even more for college lacrosse and stuff like that. So I think I would have been fine.
All right, yeah. So I mean, it does take a certain kind of mentality. So kudos to Aaron Coleman for getting the youth started. Because that way, hopefully, the next generation, the next Madison Davis, won't be able to say that they didn't know what box was when they were 16 years old. So no, I absolutely love it, and I just it was so cool to watch you walking into the back of the Nexus parking lot there before the game, and just how cool it is when you get to see like Paul and everybody that has gotten to watch you grow up to play. And so we will say, getting to play on the floor against the level of competition that you got to play against Sunday, and we'll leave it at if you know, you know. How did you? I mean, that's got to be epic. Most athletes will never get to do something like that in their life. That must have been just like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, I felt super honored to get the chance to play against them. Um, I think I was actually really nervous because I was playing on an all boys team and I thought they were just gonna like bust my chops the whole entire time.
I'm sure
But
there
they're
was
actually
plenty of that, though.
they were most of them were actually pretty nice and helped me out because they were like calling these plays and I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And they're like, just go. And I'm like, I don't know the play. So some of them would like my uncle was really helpful of just like letting me know what some of the plays were. But playing against the team that we did was super cool, and it's something that a lot of people aren't ever going to be able to do.
No, that's just one more thing that Paul Noecker has kind of brought to the world that most of us will get to experience that we never would have without Paul Noecker. So, I mean, I will say, Paul, I got to ask you because I love these responses. How amazing was that for you as we were standing in the parking lot watching her come up? I could just see the look on your face. You were stoked. You were like, man, you were telling me who she was, and I was just like, oh, this is awesome.
The opportunity to ask her was incredible. She's put the work in, from kindercross to now being able to play her fourth year at Oswego,
Mhm.
and to uh, step out of your aura and try something new.
Comfort zone. I
That's
mean, and that's
that.
just jumping right into the fire, though. I mean,
Well, but you want to know, you got to be able to. I wouldn't have asked her if she wasn't the athlete that she is. No disrespect to other athletes. Madison can play ball. She's a baller. She's a dog. She
she's Madison. She's Madison. So yeah. It's that is cool. So I mean one thing with the Yeti though is actually a lot of those guys are coaches. So for you with your field that you're going into, I mean that must have been a pretty cool experience too because I mean what it's got to be 75% of the Yeti coach at some level.
What was
yeah.
the question?
No, I was saying just like did you get to like from your going into coaching, was there anything like getting 75% of the Yeti players are coaches? Like your Uncle Brandon, he's coaching what, at least two or three teams at a time and still playing all over the place. I don't know anybody as crazy as that guy. Like him and Dave Scosi, Sully, like all these guys that are my age that are still out there playing, it absolutely blows my mind. Kudos to Brandon to still do it. But I mean all of these guys coach. Do you think that was it anything you even picked up on getting to spend time with those guys at Lax Nye and then getting to play with them the other day?
Um, I mean, I think it just kind of like inspires me to know that like that's what I want to do. Like I want to be able to play lacrosse, whether it's box or field, as long as I can, still work and then still, coach because I would love to be the person that helps brings like little kids like how I was into something that could be really good and, just kick some ass everywhere.
I like it. And taking names all over the place. So the we've gotten to see the youth guys kind of come out on the intermission a little bit. I think that is a huge part. I think hockey does an amazing job at it, kind of getting the youth involved. So
Did I first?
yeah, you did for a second, but we got you back, right? Yeah.
I'm back.
But you do glitch out every now and again. The Oh shit! What the heck was I just? I even forgot what I was talking about now though. When Paul threw me off with that.
I'm sorry.
No.
The youth. They are.
Oh, the youth going forward. So I mean, is your plans to? I'm guessing you would still like to be involved in coach, like you said, with all that. But do you think that you will kind of go into both varieties of it? Because Tri City, do you guys go to Placid with a women's team, or what's women's post collegiate our field look like? I have no idea.
So after college, there's pretty much nothing after that, but there is a Tri-Cities women's team that I'll play in as long as I can. But
Is it
other
like
than
a
that,
pickup rec league, kind of like their men's league, basically the same thing?
for Lake Placid,
Oh, you
or
guys just have a Placid team. You guys don't like what
yeah,
is
I
the
think
team?
we have an open team and then we have I think a 25 plus team. So there's that, and I think they try to get some girls to do like a summer league every year, but everyone's just so all over the place now and busy that it's hard to like really get a summer league going like how the guys do.
A lot
Gotcha.
of the girls, they get on the club travel teams, and for the most part, Benny Shane does a great job with a lot of local Whitesboro, Rome, New Hartford, Clinton, getting the girls together, and they do also have a high school team. They take up the Lake Placid too. So, and they do also do a couple other the field tournaments, but we start getting these Madison Davises and the Carly Neckers and some of the Dixie Chicks
Well,
and
well, we had a whole bunch of them come and take a they
Brittany. I mean, we have goalies now. That's the awesome thing is we have an opportunity where, young ladies like Madison and Sam DeCondo, the Dixie Chick, we got girls that are in this area that they there's nothing. So not for nothing, let's start it. Let's do it. And we've done that. The girls have, they've been coming to practices weekly. So that's a cool thing. We're going on our last Wednesday night practice this week. And
Well,
then,
that was one thing. You guys actually had enough women registered that if the NABLL was able to put together either another team or if anybody else had showed up, you guys did have a rostered
we
team.
had a roster ready to go. We were going to try and do something, but things went through the cracks, or it didn't happen. But
It's like
we are
everything. I think,
excited.
yeah, it just kind of slipped through, and
Well, now we're looking at, and I'm sure am hoping that schedule works out great, so that when September 21st comes in, we're playing Team Japan inside the Adirondack Center again. If I get the opportunity, I'd be truly honored. But to announce the Madison Davis and the rest of the Yeti ladies, that would be pretty special. I'm flabbergasted. Things that are going on for, especially the girls. For the guys, it's awesome. Where I think the future is the brightest is a young lady like Madison, young lady like Carly, and any one of them, anybody that's out there. Take advantage. You numbers wise, you don't need numbers. You can have minimal numbers. You need 10 people. 10 people, and you got a
10
game. You
people's
got
a
a team.
team. Yeah.
Yeah.
10 people's a team. 12 people's better, but you gotta 10 will get
Absolutely.
you running versus in in fields you need 20. You need enough people to kind of get more. So that is a big thing. But goalies are so hard to come by.
Well, we have that with Brittany, and we have a couple other young ladies that are playing with us. So having her there and helping teach the younger girls, that's what's been incredible, is the amount of experience that we're able to provide to the girls is it's world class. Whether Tony Sorcy comes in and does a clinic for them, or we have the Yeti running practices with these ladies and explaining things, running with them in practice, so that they're understanding it, instead of just being thrown like she was in the first game out to the Wolves. The girl was dogging it yesterday. Some of the things that I was watching, I was up in the rafters, trying to announce and play music that I've never heard before, and it was ridiculous. But as far as to be able to watch her go out there and the quick sticks, running through the picks, setting picks, jamming people, she got hit, and she also did some hitting. At that level, it was special to watch. I know her dad was able to watch a little of it, and it was cool. It was so cool. So cool.
Yeah, I don't know if it gets any cooler than that. That's got to
No,
be
it doesn't.
it's got. So have you ever when you guys so Lax Night last year, that wasn't in the audit before. So that was probably the first time you've ever been on the floor at the audit, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it's a cool place to play, isn't it, with the air horns and everything? That was one of my favorite parts about going to MV for college, was actually because we got to play at the Odd for hockey. I absolutely love that. That was so cool.
Yeah, I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
The only bad thing was the air horn is right now out for repair, so that it's back for the
that's
World
like your
Games.
your favorite thing, though.
You don't understand. I was devastated. And then the worst part about it, Greg, is I'm doing the announcements of all the girls and everything, and the Yeti, and I'm up in the rafters. They lose. They give me an iPad. I don't know how to control this stuff to begin with.
I'm surprised.
And all of a sudden, my music that I'm supposed to be playing is gone. There's no national anthem. There's no music for the introductions. I'm sitting there going, what the hell? And so I'm like, all right, I got my mic, I got my phone. I find the national anthem. I get my old school, put the old phone to the microphone, and we're rocking and rolling. And then I'm like, oh, that's right. I gotta put the paparazzi lights on. So I got the paparazzi lights on, and I don't have the Yeti roster right in front of me. So now I'm going off of the Yeti, okay,
old school roster. 6, You're just like the old.
I'm trying to do mentally, but then we threw a curveball in there and threw a couple guys had different numbers on, And I'm like, and I can't see because there's no lights, so I can't see who's who. And I'm like, just step out so I can see you. I felt horrible, and I'm like, oh my goodness, everything that I dreamt up, it went like a rice in this, just went whoof. I was gone. I was like, ah, but it was still awesome. What an honor. It was great to have Madison playing with the Yeti. It was great to be around the world's best, inside of the world's best facility that's going to be holding the worlds. So I you know I'm fired up. I know Madison's probably heard me in Utah chit chatting a little bit more. You're welcome to stick around, but I know there's a lot of guys out there that are very, very excited that you're playing box lacrosse, and there's more girls that want to play box lacrosse. But I know there's some announcements that were made today in regards to some national actually information that is coming to Utica. The Haunted-Shawnee team was announced. So
we're going to talk about that all stuff in a little
that's
bit. So yeah.
yeah, you're welcome. Like I said, you're welcome to chit chat with us, but it could get boring at times. Or you're going to say, Noecker, shut up, will you?
It's up to you, Madison. We'll leave it up to you. You want to hang out and talk some? Well, first we're going to talk President's Cup because I'm super excited about President's Cup, and then we're going to talk a little Haudenosaunee roster, and then we'll go through the U.S. roster again and Canada's because they are supposedly all up to date on the Lax Night website. But we'll leave that up to you.
Okay, I would stay, but I'm gonna have no idea what you guys are talking about.
All right.
So I'm going to leave.
Hey,
Thank
you so much for your time, Madison. We appreciate having you.
Let's do a commercial, and we can talk to Madison while we're going through the commercials and say goodbye. But I want to say it online, Madison. Thank you very much for being a part of it tonight, and also being a part of yesterday's spectacular.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. Food. Try the schnitzel. Ask for a cross check. Utica's finest barber shop. Contact Jordan Baldwin or Kevin Beach on Booksy.com. It's where Crosscheck gets his haircuts. Duratagre for all your new construction plumbing needs. Outside, inside, all around the town. Contact Dura. You need the pipe? They have the pipes. Utica Club Lounge, where the Yeti hang out pre-game and post-game. Incredible food. We have live music. Have a drink with the Yeti. Get some autographs. Bay Farms, where the beef's at. Where the hay's at. Contact Jimmy Fay. Master Vito Hyundai. Make your move to Master Vito. The Yeti have. It's been a great season so far. What a score. Brandwide Distillery, Cortland, New York. Stop in, say hello to Jimbo. Check out the shop. While you're at the shop, get yourself a little sampler. Sample that coffee liqueur. Have a little gin and tonic, maybe. And I know he's got that rumski. Stop in. It's what the Yeti drink. Join us on Monday nights. Toast with Brandwide Distillery, Utica Mac Incorporated. For all your sales and service needs, contact Francis Simile, CRM Commercial Residential Management. Contact Jason down at CRM, Robert Dix Jr. Insurance Agency. Contact Bobby Dix, Rome Sign and Display Company, where we get all our banners here at the Yeti outfit. Liberty Affordable Housing. Eric Kiefer, LUTCF, local representative and a friend of the Yeti. The B-Dry System. Water issues in your basement, on your property, contact Brandon at B-Dry. Inside, outside, they can dry you out. Water no more. Family Landscape, make your neighbors green with envy. Contact Russ, make your yard Yeti ready. CBI Cables, what the pros use. Custom audio, custom video, network and power cables, built for your needs. CBI Cables, plug them in. Norris Candy, home of the original candy turkey joints. Check them out online or stop in 321 North Dockstader Ave in Rome, New York. Bag Square Brewing Company, downtown Utica. Authentic German beer, authentic German food. Try the
All right, we are back. That was awesome having her on there. Brittany Miller, yes, everybody loves Paul. We all appreciate him so much. Paul doesn't always get a chance to read it. There is a pickup league, Josh. If you're not on social media, but Collar City Kings are they technically I think are like Bethlehem Troy is where they play either Hudson Valley.
I think they're up at Hudson Valley at the community center on
Yeah,
campus,
the
the old
community
hockey
college.
rink.
Yeah, I think they play there a lot, but then sometimes they do play at that Y. But so you got those guys. But anyways, without further ado, I got to get into this game. I wanted to talk about it so bad. So everybody, oh wait, I forgot I had her up still on that website show. So we'll get you adjusted while I'm talking here. But everybody said that the Arrows were not going to do anything in the President's Cup. They were just going to get up there and get smoked. And I tell you what, right now they are 3-0 going into it. They
It's dude, that's a stacked team.
that Rivermen, that Rivermen, I didn't realize that Lane Smith that's playing for the Arrows had gotten cut slash traded off of that Six Nations Rivermen team, and his dad's actually like the coach GM for that team, and yeah, he was on the Arrows, and you could see there was no love lost there. Sturos got a little shot. Josh, if you watch the tail end of that game, after the handshake, actually, all of a sudden you see somebody like whack Sturos in the leg. He's walking funny. So it's definitely getting heated up there, and you could actually hear the commentators are like, "That's why you shouldn't have the handshake to the end of the season or the series." They're like, "These
Each
guys."
game, wait to the end.
Yeah, they're like these guys all know each other. If you got some guys that are buddies that want to go talk to each other, they'll go do it. They don't need anybody to tell them, but they're like to line the whole team up. Stupid stuff happens, and it's like, ooh, yeah, I get the sportsmanship, but like they said, you're gonna end up with an injury or something stupid happen, and then it's like, oh, that is unfortunate. You don't want to have to be like that, but it's like, oh man, what do you? Yeah, I don't know. But anyways, that's awesome. So Snake Island is 2-1. The Edmonton Miners 2-1. They lost both of those actually. So if you look at the Six Nations Rivermen, the Miners, and the Muskies, I believe the Arrows beat all three of them, but I'm not 100% sure on that one.
I got a question. Why we're just talking? Tell me that wouldn't be an incredible game. The Arrows versus the Chiefs. Is that even possible? Do they meet up at any point? Can they meet up at any point?
I don't think they'd let them because it's B and A.
No. Okay. Is that okay?
So
I
you
got
got
you.
yeah.
What
But
an incredible game that would be, though.
oh my goodness. Yeah, so it was because they played the 25th. So Sunday was Snake Island, so they beat Snake Island. It's the only game I haven't watched any of yet. I did watch a lot of the Miners game. I got on it originally and I was like, oh my goodness, what is going on, boys? And then when I got back on it, I was like, oh my goodness, again. Yeah, they don't ever like to do things the easy way in Allegheny. If you talk to Kebby, he's their owner GM. He owns Goodies too. He's a sponsor, but he always says that he's like, man, we like to try to find the hardest way possible to do it. Even the commentators were like, what are you doing? Like you guys are trying to give the game to him. Yeah, it was nuts.
You know what? That's what makes great entertainment to go watch. Though whether it's live or whether it's on the watching these streams. I've been watching it. I've never Rogers Network. I've never heard of such a thing. I've been watching the Chiefs
BC
game.
Sports, yeah, you got Rogers.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's because honestly, none of these guys had it on YouTube, and now everything's on YouTube.
Oh, is it?
Everything.
Is there a delay though?
No, so
Because I tried watching the game
Rogers,
yesterday.
Rogers, they live stream it. It's a little bit of a delay, I think, but it is because they send it to their TV station. These guys all have TV deals for the MSL, so it goes to Rogers
Oh.
TV, and then I think they're sending a separate feed just behind to the YouTube, and then they upload it maybe. But I know the one time I watched it, or one of the ones I watched, they uploaded it. They didn't upload it. They ran a shitty stream, and it just sucked because the whole game was glitchy. But then after that, I think they fixed the internet because it was way better the next couple. But it's weird. The Lakers is simultaneously streamed on that MSL, I believe, as well through Rogers. But actually that one goes on the MSL YouTube right away, and the other one I think is Rogers. So that's why it gets messed up. But then, so
Right.
it's BC Sports right now is playing the Senior B stuff. So if you're looking for any of the BC Sports, that's good. There's no comments allowed or anything, which probably isn't a bad idea. On I guess
On big games like that, it's. But on the same note, it definitely makes things interesting. You can definitely get some chit chat going and create some excitement. That's for sure.
yeah, there is definitely that. That's for sure. I'm just looking for a copy of the Haudenosaunee roster to pull up because I actually had it on my my
I
phone.
seen it on. I had it on Facebook earlier, and I was like, "Oh boy, that's a good one."
Yeah.
I can't wait. It's going to be special here in Utica. There's no question. If you haven't got your tickets, definitely get a hold of the box office down at the Utica Memorial Auditorium because I know a lot of seats are being sold. They also have a beer garden, from how I understand it, where it's going to be a standing room area where similar to the Utica Football Club, where it's got a platform so you can stand up and see some stuff, but it's going to be incredible.
Yeah, and
The tw-
so yeah, that place is it's going to be a blast. I'm so freaking excited for Worlds. I can't wait.
I,
Oh my god.
USA, Greg,
Hang on,
this game right
we
here,
can't talk
Greg,
USA
this
first.
game right here. No,
Oh, the
this
game
game
is
right
going to be
here.
nuts.
You're going to be watching this game with these players right in front of me against Team USA, the
I
20th.
I hope so.
Boom,
I might not
boom.
I
Oh,
might
you might be streaming.
I might not be able to watch
Well,
some of
you're
these
going to be
games
streaming.
live.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Well, no, it depends. Like there's some that I will be able to make. There's no overlap. But
Yep.
yeah, unfortunately I will. That is honestly the worst part about that.
And it's Bob Leary's birthday that night.
Oh
Oh
my goodness.
boy,
All right,
his
we got to check
60th.
that.
Happy birthday, Bob.
Yes. So let's go through this roster. We got
Look at that.
Tahoka, Lyle, Cody Stotts, so Randy Stotts, Brendan Bomberry, Zed Williams, Jeremy Thompson, Kason Tarball, Ron John, Larson Sundown, Eli McLaughlin, who was tearing it up, Adam Bomberry, Zach Williams, Travis Longboat, uh, Sean O'Haken Thompson, I believe. I probably just butchered that. Sorry, everybody. Booker Muir, Justin Martin. I believe that is the Justin Martin that plays for the Toronto Rock, not the one that plays for the Bandits. I'm like 90% sure. So Thomas Hogarth, Blake McDonald, Trey Deer, uh, Colton Marquez, or Marquise, Dougie, and Warren Hill.
Dougie.
So Dougie has been playing good.
He's been playing ball.
Yeah, Trey Deer is so I think Trey Deer was on the yeah, he's been playing juniors. He's that next guy. They're expecting him to be the next Lyle.
Well,
So I mean, but you got to be happy. I'm very happy with the representation from the Firewolves with Longboat and
yeah,
Dougie.
and
I
Dougie
think that's amazing.
and coach.
Yeah,
No, coach is Canada. Well,
coach.
as
Yeah,
far as same
but just world represent.
props to
Yeah, we've
coach.
got other
Yeah,
guys too that are playing on some of the other teams.
yeah.
But so that Longboat, I think last year it was his first year back from his knee injury. I think we ain't seen nothing yet. I tell you, I saw that guy. I've seen him working out. I've seen him throwing. That kid is a absolute stud, and Marshall is dialing in. I'm telling you, look out. It's going to be
Eh,
a tough year, though. So one thing that I do know is it's a contract year for Sturos, and he is playing phenomenal. So hopefully we get to keep him. I was very surprised Marshall didn't make it, but here's the problem. So like you look up and down this roster, and you're like, who do you take off for Marshall? And when you're looking at the offensive guns, it's a very tough call because it's like, who are you pulling off for Marshall? Because I feel the same way, and I bet you Marshall's on an alternate list somewhere sitting close by in case something happens. I don't know how the rosters work like that, but if they're allowed to. But yeah, I
I
don't
know
know.
one thing as far as if you've been watching any of the Chiefs games, Cody is on fire right now. 3 assists last night. He was 3-1 the game before. And just watching him. I don't know if he took most of the summer off to get in shape or whatever, but he just looks physically, fresh. And some of his plays, some of his passes are just, oh my goodness. And it's that's the game I've been busy, but that's the team I've been watching for the fact that watching Dane Smith on one side and Cody on the other side, and everybody else that's in between going. These teams are just crazy. What a dream team concept. Again, we definitely have to do a football or lacrosse.
No,
Pick
we're
our
doing the pool.
players.
Well,
Okay,
I think we're doing. I think so the players and stuff would be fun, and I'm sure we could find a league that we could do it with. But I think it'd be more fun to do it the suicide
Pick 'em.
pool. Yeah, like the pool pick 'em, where you
Yeah,
just pick your
yeah.
teams for the week. I think it'll be easier to
Oh, definitely
manage.
keep track. No question. I could almost do something like that.
I'm
And
thinking we could do it together, whereas one of
yes,
us is not gonna. We're gonna just screw it up, and we'll just end up with a bunch of disappointed people that are like, "What
that's
happened
true
to
too.
these guys?"
Yeah,
And
I'm not the computer guy that we want.
yeah,
Yeah, that's not good.
yeah, you're definitely not the guy we're putting in charge. So the Haudenosaunee one was not up through the world's website yet, but any of the rest of the teams. So like when you go to it, you can get right to the world's website, and if you want to check out the women's teams, they're right on the top. If you want to check out the men's, you go just below it, and they've got links that'll bring you everywhere. And this is finally updated. It was 2019 the last time we looked. But no, when you're looking through, so Del Bianco is playing. He's up in the President's Cup, I believe.
He's up there playing as
I
well.
think that
Kells is playing for.
Kells is playing for the Lakers.
Yep, Kells is playing for the
Yeah, I
Lakers.
tell you, like Bushi, there's so many guys playing in that senior B. It's a joke. Like people are like, senior B's not pro. Get out of here. Go watch that President's Cup, and you tell me what team doesn't have NLL All Stars on it. Okay.
Right.
I mean, and right now, what do you expect with the Arrows, though? They literally have two of the top guys from the Bandits. You've got Frankie Brown. They've got Thornburg. They are absolutely loaded. That's why I didn't say nothing about them going up there, because I have definitely been wrong once or twice in my life, maybe three times. And I could have been wrong, but I watched that team throughout the summer, and I was like, there is no way anybody is going to just mop the floor with those guys, because everybody was saying they're like, oh, they're gonna mount the floor with them. I was like, I just don't see it. It's not like even if they got beat, they were not going up there and just getting destroyed. I mean, every one of these games is close. I honestly think the biggest difference has been having a lot of those guys down there, though, because you're dealing with guys who have been in that pressure situation. You're dealing with guys that this is like business as usual for them. They're not that kind of, you're not dealing with a bunch of guys that have never been there. And it's
Right.
cool because a lot of their detransition guys, though, they have a ton of local guys. Everybody wanted to talk smack about it. But if you followed that team for the last, however many years, they have so many local guys. There's really a handful of guys that kind of came into the community, but they really did a community-based thing where they were all there every night and working and hanging out. But back,
And they said that. That's why they're there. They wanted to help the community grow. So, props to them for taking that time and spreading the love of the game. Even though you're a professional, you want to what? It's still a great feeling when you're showing that kid that, that special move, and all of a sudden he's able to do it. And he was taught by Dane Smith or whomever,
makes kids,
Manitoke.
you would think it would
It
make
makes
kids come to
her,
practice.
yeah. Well, how are you going to get better? You got to go to
Well,
practice.
and I tell you, so the attendance at all the games, you could see it, and I laughed because all the other fans are, it's a rowdy. Can-Am's a tough crowd, man. It's a rowdy crowd, but they, no, they're all the kids were standing over there getting pictures with the guys, and yeah,
Oh yeah.
and
Well,
kudos to those players. No matter how much trash was
well,
spoken between the men, they always took pictures with the kids. Every kid in there. They all had signed Arrows shirts on, like walking around. You could tell they've been a big part of the community. So, but back to this Team Canada roster. So Tchaikovsky, we've got our Firewolf on it, and I think was that the only one I saw? I believe it was for this team.
for Canada and coach.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So we've got the coach as well.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but yeah. But when you look down at the alternates, Simmons is right there. And again, Simmons is like that Marshall Powless. You're looking at it and you're like, who do you take off to do it? I mean, I like a lot of these guys, but honestly, I don't know. Maybe they're giving him some time because he's playing PLL, so they're just using box guys. I'm guessing he's playing PLL.
Well, I'm not. I
I
don't
don't
watch
even know.
PLL.
I
The
don't
only thing
follow
I
any
know
of it.
that's horrible for the U.S. is Schreiber getting hurt, and
Oh no, he's
you
St.
know,
Catharines, so never mind. Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe Simmons just isn't having a good year, but that one blows my mind that he's not on there. I would replace him with a couple guys that are on that roster. I'm not going to say who. OJ's got some representation on Team Canada. Well, he had some representation with Del Bianco, but he still has some with Salama is one of the Roughnecks, and who else you got there? Tanner Cook. I was going to say I thought I saw two. So, and actually, I watched Jesse King is playing in the Senior B. He just He just lost to the Arrows. Sorry.
Huh.
I believe it was
Huh.
him actually, but he might have just been one of the highlight reels. Actually, that might be
I,
why it stuck
I
in my name.
I'm feeling like Madison Davis as you're blowing through these names. Greg, I'm giving you props, man. As far as where you've taken your game, props to you in regards to learning the names, seeing the people, doing the cuts, making the editing, and it's dude, props to you. That's I'm speechless watching you do what you're doing. Great job, man.
Well, I
Great job.
appreciate that.
Great job. And I know it's not the NABLL site and everything, but it's definitely our site. And you want to know what? You fucking killed it this past weekend. You and Charity and your other boss.
The
You,
co-boss, yeah. Did
the
you like that?
co-boss. That was a good picture. Hey, Jared, props to you guys because you want to know what? It wasn't. It couldn't have been done any better. There's no question. You guys killed it. You
There,
crushed it.
I
Great
I
job.
will disagree on that one. There's definitely some room for improvement, but I will say that the boss and the co-boss did an amazing job. What makes me like the coolest part of it for me though is really going with Jared and like getting to see like this year because he didn't go last year. We were in Chicago and it was during the school year, so he didn't go. But this year, so like Deej was like, "Who's that?" And it was like that's him, and everybody's like, "Wait, what?" And it's yeah, he's really kind of turned into a man. No, the
Yes.
Thursday live stream, Josh, did not happen this week because of some shenanigans I got caught up in trying to get my stuff ready for nationals. But it will happen. Actually, me and Hot Rod are probably going to bump it up tomorrow while that game is going on. It's going to happen before the NABLL show that takes place on theirs. We are going to. Well, Del
Well,
Bianco,
do me a favor, promote this because I have no clue what the hell you guys are even talking about. So you guys do another show.
I do. So we do a members only show once a week, and I've been trying to. So I'm gonna have a different member on every week. We're gonna do like we'll go through Josh and OJ, and we've got some other members. You.
How do you become a member? Tell these people again how you become a member.
Well, actually, we can actually just go through YouTube.
Yeah,
So,
you need to show these
oh wait,
people so they.
I'm logged into mine, so I don't know if it'll look the same because it's. I think
Uh-huh.
it says join, but see that's. Oh yeah, right there.
Right there. That's how you do it, people. Do me a favor, get on there and get yourself joined. It's what less than a beer a beer a month. It's $3,
$3 a month. Yeah, and you can be
three
a
bucks
baby
a month.
squatch. You get all
You
these
can be a baby
highlights.
squash.
So basically, what we're trying to do with the members is anytime we really, so like when I was staying up late at night at nationals trying to make some highlights and trying to do stuff like that, we're gonna do that as members only. But we're gonna be doing a lot of the live watch parties and stuff, and really we're looking for the members to kind of help us in what direction we should go with this too. I mean, I love these, but does everybody else like the watch parties? What do you guys like? You got to tell me what we're doing. And but me and Hot Rod tomorrow at we're gonna probably. I'd like to shoot for the second half of the game. We're gonna hang out and do a members only, like live stream where you can either jump out if anybody wants to get on the Discord. You can chat and that's simultaneous where you don't have the 30-second delay, but you don't see us, so you might as well just kind of throw it in the chats. But it is a little weird they are delayed there, so we're gonna start doing some Google Meets, and I think we're actually what we're gonna start doing is start to jump on the Discord where like if we're watching a game we're all just kind of hanging out, sitting there, BSing the game together, and we'll, hey, that was sick. Clip us a highlight, and we can make some members only highlights because they don't go out to public, so it doesn't matter. We don't have to really worry about what we take and what we talk over, and we can talk some smack, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I plan on watching a bunch of games like that this year where we're going to just jump on the thing. So if you are on Discord, check it out. If you're not on Discord, you can either get it on your app or on your phone, but you have to be a channel member to join our Discord group. It's a special thing. Paul, you won't know about the Discord, but it is cool. It's like it's a huge virtual like chat room where basically you know how we sit in like the Google Meet and do it,
Yeah, yeah.
but it'll just be a chat room so without the video, so everybody just gets to sit there and talk and we can have our screens watching the game, so we're just basically sitting in a big group call, but you leave it on and everybody's just kind of BSing because you can get up and walk out of the room. Nobody cares if you're quiet, you're all hanging out watching the game, especially on something like tomorrow where we're going to be able to watch it on YouTube on that BC Sports, so we'll watch that. Yeah, it'll be
What
fun.
time does that start? How about you tell me what time it starts so I can get on?
If Hot Rod would tell me what time he's going to be there, I would let you
Oh,
know.
that son of a gun. He's like a land shark. He's
The,
always swimming upstream.
he is. So
I tell
the
you.
game starts at the game starts at 5. Our goal is to be on for probably 6.
Okay.
But the problem is I have the NABLL show at night, so it'll be a quick one. But
Yep,
then
yep.
Thursday we're going to do the longer members only show. Wednesday or tomorrow's going to be more of an impromptu. We're just kind of messing around. But Thursday
See
night,
if it works.
yeah.
Trying it out.
And Thursday night we're going to do the longers members only show where we really kind of hang out in the chats for a while and talk. You guys tell us what time works best for you. We can try to bounce it a little bit, maybe a little earlier, maybe a little later. We do the NABLL show late because of the West Coasters, but we got a lot of East Coasters here with Josh and most of us that are on regular human being time, I like to call it, but that's either here nor there, I guess.
Here nor there. Here nor there. Greg, I haven't even said really anything about the NABLL this past weekend. I know it's not the NABLL show. I'll keep it simple and everything, but a great job by the board members taking care of getting people situated in the locker rooms and the game flow. I need to say thank you to my crew, and I'm hoping I don't miss anybody because I'm shooting from the hip while I'm doing it. But I got to start with Molly Leary as far as she ran the show there. She ran all the stats. She was the head stats person and knocked it out of the park. I got to say, I'm not sure of Nick's last name, but Nick that works at it begins with a D. Works for the Nexus. Great job. Peter Leota, Ryan, Chris Ryan, Jared Hussey, John Hussey, Kai from Herkimer, a young man from Jamaica that is looking to make the Jamaican box team as a goalie.
Kyrie.
Tyreek, props to
he
the
was
young man.
fun, man.
He came in. He
was a
came
good
in and nailed it. You want to know what? He gave me a break the last 2 games, and then of course we had the U.S. game, so I couldn't be in there. And from what I heard, he did a very good job with the championship game. It was awesome to give that young man an opportunity to get out there. Charlie Risacci, I got to say thank you very much to all those guys. They did a great job. Melissa. Oh my gosh, Melissa.
I was just gonna say kudos to Melissa.
Melissa,
She sat
and
there. She was there as much as we were. And the board
yeah,
members just lived there.
when Mark got there, Melissa was there, and what an angel. She definitely stood on her head, making sure people were taken care of, whether it was selling raffle tickets. I bought my raffle tickets. Did who won by chance? The head.
She did not actually tell me. I wanted a picture, but I forgot to tell her to get one. But somebody won it.
Somebody won it.
Somebody
Well,
won it.
props to that person out there that won the head, and it was a sweet looking head. The t-shirts, as you can see, I got the t-shirt on, and I actually put it on backward.
I did that.
What
I got charity one and the hoodie, and I did the same thing.
I was saying the it's on the back, so I can't turn around or anything.
No. It's because on the front they just left us room to put I've got those Blue Squatch graphics. We'll press it right on there, so they're going to be Blue Squatch NABLL shirts. We'll have special ones.
Okay. Well, no, this one has a. Okay, so
yeah, because they got the Chicken Riggy thing on the back, so it'll be Blue Squatch on the front, Chicken Riggy on the back.
I didn't understand it at first. I'm like, what the hell is this? That got to be Chicken Riggy? It must be Chicken Riggies. But anyway, very cool. I'm very excited. Props to them. They hosted a great tournament. The bar Mamet and everybody.
But
was
we
incredible.
have a comment that I got to get to in the chat. So what about Owen time? So OJ has a bunch of stuff coming up. He's going to be joining us for Worlds. Honestly, the members show, my plan is this winter for OJ to kind of be producing it and running it, where I get to just sit and BS more, where he kind of runs it, and that is my goal for that. So, but no, the entire Utica crew is absolutely the best. Crafty Beach in the comments letting us know. No, we do. Murph, I got to give a shout out to Murph and that whole Utica Lounge crew. They are absolutely amazing to us. They
awesome.
Yeah, you go down there. I don't know how she did it. She was literally the only server Saturday, basically. And somehow she managed to take care of everybody, and nobody. Yeah, like you didn't just see like a huge line of people. You'd get there, it'd be a little busy from time to time. But I mean, I literally can only go in between the games, which is their busiest time. and
Right.
we were able to get our food and get back in time for our games. One thing
Hayden,
I will say, I did love the schedule.
Hayden McMonigal. Shout out to Hayden McMonigal on Friday night. Him and his buddy. I don't know his buddy's name, but they
They were
came
awesome
down
though.
and
They're on the Instagrams. I hope somebody tags them in the comments or something because I tried to, and unfortunately figured out that I'm too much of a boomer to even figure out how to tag the live afterwards. I couldn't quite.
well,
I was like, "Are you
I,
kidding me, guys?" But
tell
no,
TV Land because I don't know how to do that stuff either. So, but yeah, Mark Murphy, in regards to the photos that he got throughout the entire program, awesome job, Mark. Thank you for doing what you do, keeping the Yeti involved with everything. And like I said, the entire crew. It was great to, oh, I didn't say the general. Did I not say the general? I didn't say the general, Bob Larry.
we've talked about the general a couple times.
Well, no,
I don't
but
know if you ever need to.
I didn't say I didn't say thank you because he definitely stepped up and when we needed some filler. Bob's not one to want to run the 30-second clock, and he had to run the 30-second clock in the very first game. So
We made Bob do all the things he doesn't want to do. He was on the PA, he was running the 30-second clock. He doesn't mind doing commentary with us, but he literally was filling in the mic so you could run the camera, just making things work. But yeah,
absolutely,
yeah.
yeah. Hey, as far as Australian tours, Eddie Ryder did a great job bringing some pickled things and got everything all, eh, got some information to some people about taking some tours down to Australia. He's doing a fabulous job with that, and
How about Rick Imus? So you didn't get to see it, but on the live stream, I got to send it to him. He sent me an email. Josh, I don't know if you watched the NABL Nationals, but the guy that does the national anthem does all three of them on the guitar, and I mean it's impressive to hear the other two, but to hear that Haudenosaunee anthem on the guitar to me is just so cool because the only
yeah.
place I've ever heard it is usually at the if you're at Can-Am or if you're at a Yeti game, you'll hear it. But other than that, and I have never heard it played on a guitar other than him anywhere.
Yeah, I watched it at the championship up in A Bay, and props to that man. That's a great. He just nails it all the way through.
Yeah.
It's quite impressive, very impressive.
Yeah, and
But
yes, there will be a lot more. OJ, yes, I'm not notifying you, but until Worlds, we're on our summer schedule where things are a little different. But I am super excited for this winter. Paul, we're well over an hour now. We're a couple minutes over it. Thank you so much for being Paul Noecker because without you, Paul Noecker, none of this happens.
thank you for what you do, Greg Beecher. Yeti Nation. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks so much, everybody. We appreciate having you. Hit us up in the chats, comments, join the Discord. We'll talk to you soon.
Custom audio, custom video, network and power cables built for your needs. CBI cables. Plug them in. Norris Candy, home of the original candy turkey joints. Check them out online or stop in 321 North Dockstader Ave in Rome, New York. Bag Square Brewing Company, downtown Utica. Authentic German beer, authentic German food. Try the schnitzel. Ask for a cross check. Utica's finest barber shop. Contact Jordan Baldwin or Kevin Beach on Booksy.com. It's where Crosscheck gets his haircuts. Duratagre for all your new construction plumbing needs. Outside, inside, all around the town. Contact Dura. You need the pipe? They have the pipes. Utica Club Lounge, where the Yeti hang out pre-game and post-game. Incredible food. We have live music. Have a drink with the Yeti. Get some autographs. Bay Farms, where the beef's at. Where the hay's at. Contact Jimmy Fay. Master Vito Hyundai. Make your move to Master Vito. The Yeti have. It's been a great season so far. What a score. Brandwide Distillery, Cortland, New York. Stop in, say hello to Jimbo. Check out the shop. While you're at the shop, get yourself a little sampler. Sample that coffee liqueur. Have a little gin and tonic, maybe. And I know he's got that rumski. Stop in. It's what the Yeti drink. Join us on Monday nights. Toast with Brandwide Distillery, Utica Mac Incorporated. For all your sales and service needs, contact Francis Simile, CRM Commercial Residential Management. Contact Jason down at CRM, Robert Dix Jr. Insurance Agency. Contact Bobby Dix, Rome Sign and Display Company, where we get all our banners here at the Yeti outfit. Liberty Affordable Housing. Eric Kiefer, LUTCF, local representative and a friend of the Yeti. The B-Dry system. Water issues in your basement, on your property? Contact Brandon at B-Dry. Inside, outside. They can dry you out. Water no more. Family landscape. Make your neighbors green with envy. Contact Russ. Make your yard Yeti ready. CBI cables. What the pro